Hello, welcome to SNG Talks. Good governance is crucial for systems and institutions to run transparently and to provide better service delivery to the citizens. To talk about governance and governance reforms in Pakistan, today we have a very eminent public sector leader with us. He has years of experience working in the development and public sector in key roles, and we can safely call him the reform champion. Currently serving as the Chairman Planning and Development Board Punjab, we are very happy to have Mr. Hamid Yaqub Sheikh with us today. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
It is said that without adequate governance reforms, systems and institutions can never improve. Do you think it's unfair when people criticize reforms and say that they can't see immediate results?
So, reforms in governance are what we call soft reforms or soft actions. They are distinct from infrastructure development, which are visible, which you can see, which are tangible. So when we talk about improvement in processes, it's actually all invisible, and you can say it is unfair to blame for its slow nature. But what happens is that at times, because of the stakeholders involved, because of the complexity involved, they take a longer time, and people don't see or attach the kind of value which the reform champions attach to it. So it's actually both ways. If it's too long and not visible, delivery is not tangible, then it's fair to blame. But if it's managed in a timely manner for purposeful delivery, then I think any criticism is unfair. For example, budgeting reforms. The processes have improved. People who've been involved with finance and with budgeting know it much better that the budgeting process has improved significantly over time. People don't see it, but the results are there to see. So it's I don't think it's fair to criticize unnecessarily.
Punjab, as the biggest province, has its own set of unique challenges. In your opinion, what is the role of development partners in providing the support to the government to overcome all these challenges?
So international development partners are important, not just because they bring in additional financial resources. I think the biggest opportunity or biggest value that they bring in is the technical expertise, because they work in range of countries, in range of environments. So they have much larger pool of experience than perhaps we in government have, or our public sector consultants have. So definitely we look at international development partners as our partners who help us not only with relatively less costly additional financial resource, but more so for their technical expertise, which goes a long way in improving our systems and processes.
PND recently worked with different development partners, including the Subnational Governance Program, on a COVID response strategy, RISE. What was your experience like, and how do you think the support of development partners helped?
When COVID broke out, we at PND we started deliberating on our response to COVID, because at the beginning it was essentially a health emergency, but we soon realized that the impact would be much greater and much significant on the economy. So PND took the lead with Chief Minister constituting a steering committee and the Finance Minister. We talked about, we engaged a range of stakeholders, and we talked about different areas in which the impact would be felt. And because the impact is huge and the size of economy of Punjab is large, it is not possible for government alone, and that too in a fiscally constrained situation, to provide the kind of impetus that more than government resources can do. So we engaged international development partners. We presented our strategy, which we now call Rise Punjab, and we're grateful to our development partners who very openly helped us craft the strategy, finalize the strategy, and they're now willing to provide us both technical expertise as well as less costly financial resources to implement the strategy. This is perhaps, if not the first time, it is one of, perhaps maybe the second or third time, where we not only implementing the strategy through recrafting the annual development program, but we're developing new program based on the strategy, and development partners are very much supporting Punjab government in that.
So the usual criticism that the governments do not follow up on strategies is not, it's unfair.
So in this case, I am very confident, and I can vouch for that the strategy is being implemented, and we can very well prove that.
When you're talking about reforms, it's a very technical thing for everybody to understand. So when you're talking to citizens, how does it impact their lives?
Frankly, it's a very difficult question. It's not easy to answer. As I said in the beginning, it's not a road that I can display or show that we've been able to do that. In the context of RISE, in the context of COVID, I think one major area in which maybe tangible progress can be displayed is the focus that we're putting on small public works program, for example. So a significant portion of ADP and funding is going towards small public works program, which will show improvement in small scale infrastructure all over the province. But it's more difficult to show in health, for example. We can show number of beds that have increased, number of, for example, equipment that we've purchased. But how does it actually help in delivery of service is something which is slow and would happen over time. So I think for citizens, what is important is to see what happens over time rather than what happens immediately.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.